Part 60. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Renhuo Xiangxiao. Chapter 616. A long time. Wu Yuqian knew that he had little chance to fight against the remaining elves, but he still sent them out to fight. The elite level is close to the gym level leader Kentaro, the elite level giant Geranium, the elite level tropical dragon, and finally, there is the dream-inducing tapir who has not yet reached the gym level. The first three were completely suppressed by the Salted Fish King in terms of attributes and strength. Although the leader of Kentaro used the sacrifice of his body to collide with the Salted Fish King 3 times, he still lost. The last of the dream-inducing tapirs, Yang Yu sent Dude to compete with it in a super battle of mental power. The dream-inducing tapirs still came up short. Although they used self-regeneration to persevere, their defeat was inevitable. The ripples of superpower rippled through the battlefield of the elf battle like purple comets. The dream-inducing tapir has no physical strength to use his superpowers to fight back again. At this point, all 6 of Wu Yuqian's elves were defeated. Hey, in the next 3 years, your junior brother Han will rule the national competition. Wu Yuqian took the high-level wound medicine from the hand of the dream-inducing tapir and wiped the eye-catching mark on Bai Diao's body. The tone was a little lonely, but the expression was very relaxed. Wu Yuqian's 4-year era in national competitions ended, and Yang Yu's era began. There are no wounds on the giant pincer mantis steel body, but its physical strength has been drained. Yuki can fully recover after resting for a while. As for Kentaro, he and Milkpot are enjoying the life of 2 cows. The wounds on Kentaro's body are a symbol of warriors. Milkpot should be a priest. Geranium and Tropical Dragon use each other's aromatic scent and tropical banana fruits to restore their physical strength, so Wu Yuqian doesn't have to worry. What's important now is that while helping Bai Diao wipe off the wound medicine, Wu Yuqian still needs to figure out what happened when Shunfeng and Tornado handed over, and see from the marks on his body whether his previous guess was correct. Choo choo choo. The little Juju kept jumping up and down in front of Bai Diao. Bai Diao was a little irritable. He turned his head and the little Juju jumped to the other side. Bai Diao didn't know what to say. The little Juju kept jumping around, with extremely concerned eyes in his crystal eyes. This made Bai Diao have no choice but to close his eyes. Little guy. Wu Yuqian felt a little funny in his heart. The elves like him were in pairs. Even Bai Diao now had little Juju to care about him. Only giant pincer mantis. Forget it, that guy is just a tough guy anyway, and I don't know when he will wake up. The Salted Fish King is currently looking after De Meili in the Meteor Lake. De Meili's performance has impressed the Salted Fish King. Although the Salted Fish King doesn't know anything else, he still knows how to call De Meili 666. Yang Yu asked little Reggie Locke, who was watching the elf battle with him, "Little Reggie Locke, did you see clearly? What just happened?" Reggie Locke Jr. Why the hell can he see it here? This place is not in the sky. If he is closer, he can still take a look. The question is whether Yang Yu dares to go to heaven. If I had gone to heaven just now, I would have brought little Reggie Locke with me to ensure that he could see clearly, and that he could also perform data analysis on the computer for Yang Yu. Ask Super who did, he is the master in this forest, and no disturbance can escape his super perception. Little Reggie Locke is quite self-aware. In front of the Super who did, it is still a little fiststone baby. At least, that was the case before the core of power was found. Lao Huidi seemed to feel the same doubts as Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian. With a mental movement, a spoon floated out from behind and drew a screen in the air. A picture appeared on the superpower screen. This scene is just like the replay scene of the battle between Salted Fish King and Bai Diao. This operation of Lao Huidi is a bit powerful. After the super evolution, the superpower can indeed be described as miraculous. It seems that I guessed it right. It is really the reason for the water flow ring. If the water flow ring rotates at high speed and uses the wave of water, the power will explode. It will explode instantly. Bai Diao in the tailwind state will really be unable to withstand it. Wu Yuqian's ability to pay attention to details in the elf battle is worth learning from Yang Yu. However, I didn't expect that after this wave of water fluctuations, the salted fish king didn't directly add another 100,000 volts. Oh, it's another mouthful of dog food, Wu Yuqian said, and suddenly he cursed with a smile. Yang Yu naturally understood what senior brother Qian was talking about. It's nothing more than the salted fish king giving up the easily obtained victory to the great beauty. MMP, the salted fish king is so good at it, but I, Yang Yu, am still single. Yang Yu, how are you going to train next? I will learn from you. Your way of raising elves is indeed unique. Let me see if, before the Chinese New Year this year, I can train the dream-inducing tapir, Kentaro, and giant claw mantis. His strength has also been upgraded to the gym level. Wu Yuqian put away the advanced wound medicine. If Bai Diao wants to recover his physical strength, Yu Qi is enough, but after using advanced wound medicine, Bai Diao's wounds can quickly grow new feathers, so that no scars will be left. Bai Diao was Wu Yuqian's face. To put it simply, sitting on the back of Bai Diao can attract the attention of countless people wherever he goes due to his good looks, flowing bright red head feathers, and dense and soft feathers. A perfect tool for showing off. It needs to be taken good care of, otherwise how could Wu go out and find beautiful girls in the elf world if he had money? In this world, it is not enough to just have money, but also to have powerful elves. Although it is sometimes easy for trainers to raise elves and go bankrupt, but after having a good elf, the previous investment will naturally be earned back. Besides, Wu Yuqian himself is not short of money either. If you want to use it, use the best one. Let's buy something first. New training requires new things, whether it's elf resources or something else. I don't have enough stock here. The energy cubes that enhance beauty have long since disappeared. The current energy cubes are all high-quality energy cubes that can be purchased directly in the Elf Alliance and do not require customization. Yes, since it is a special training in the Meteor Forest, the elf resources must be prepared. Wu Yuqian strongly agreed. Each stage has different cultivation resources. The stronger the elves are, and if they want to continue to improve their strength, they need more advanced elven resources. Although the advanced energy cubes can still make the salted fish king feel full, but if you want to be more like it would be a bit impossible to improve some strength at the beginning. No matter what, eat. Just as Yang Yu was about to speak, he saw a big white nose suddenly come up in front of his eyes, making close contact with Yang Yu's face. Mum! The mini dragon burst into tears. What to eat? What to eat? Finally thought of eating it. Mini dragon is really difficult. Pokemon's character master. Author, AI Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 617. Zhangxiang City Elf Alliance, please bring 1 million high-end energy cubes first. Just send them to the Meteor Forest Light Rail Station. Potential potions, 3 of the most expensive elf life potions, and 2 physical attack potions. Excuse me, do the Elf Alliance have jackrabbits? What are you talking about, jackrabbit uniforms? What do I want that thing for? I'm talking about the soft and flexible elf jackrabbits. Breeders, at least elite level jackrabbits. Rabbit. If you have contact information, please give me one, thank you. Special Energy Customization Workshop. I am the customer who ordered a large batch of beauty improving energy cubes from you last time. I would like to ask if there are any energy cubes here that can help elves improve their body flexibility. I would like to customize a batch. Quantity priced at 5 million. Yang Yu looked at the honey emoticon package returned by the customer service of this customization workshop with a confused look on his face. Want some pictures with color? What the hell is this? Old man, if you have a picture, I'll give you a 500 discount for each picture. Yang Yu's eyes suddenly lit up like a beacon. How could, Such a good thing happen. You should have told me earlier. Mini Dragon, come on. It's time to take photos, let's take 10,000 of them first. Mum. The mini dragon thought that Yang Yu was feeding it, so it even wagged its tail happily, but then there was a click, click, click sound, and it turned out that he was taking pictures. Big and beautiful pictures will definitely not be included, but many dragons can still be used. Anyway, customizing energy cubes to help improve flexibility is also good for many dragons. You still need to eat. Unfortunately, the memory of my mobile phone is too small, so I can't take 10,000 photos of many dragons. After the customer service staff excitedly looked at the photo shared by Yang Yu, he hit 3 dots. This customer must be poisonous. But this mini dragon looks quite cute, especially the aggrieved little look in the back. The mini dragons who are forced to operate do not dare to dislike them. If they dislike them, they will lose their food. Yang Yu finally received a discount of 5,000 elf coins. It's okay, it's better than nothing. At least I can store several thousand cans of Fiazai Happy Water. In Yang Yu's plan, this training camp will last longer than a month, so naturally the meals for this month will be left to Dede. Thinking about being able to eat delicious food cooked by Dudu for a whole month, Yang Yu suddenly became full of energy again and began to continue arranging special training matters. De Male's beautiful impact allowed Yang Yu to see possibilities that were different from those of the Salted Fish King. It is also a physical attack move, but the beautiful and flexible body makes the simple salted fish thrust possible to cause secondary damage. The second or third stage impact makes the move even more powerful. Incredible. Just like in One Piece, he uses the characteristics of his body to complete a series of extremely powerful moves. There is also a mini dragon with some similar body characteristics to the Big Beauty. Since the flexibility of the big and beautiful body needs to be trained, the mini dragon can also be trained along with it. Currently, energy cubes that can help improve body flexibility are still being produced and will be shipped over time. At the same time, Yang Yu also specially invited a breeder of long-eared rabbits with the hidden characteristic softness through the Elf Alliance. Of course, on the surface, Yang Yu wanted to breed mini dragons. In fact, Yang Yu wanted to see if he could pass Goldfinger Horse to the soft characteristic. After all, this feature allows the elves to not be affected by the paralysis state, which means that when faced with some electric moves, there is no need to worry about the possibility of falling into a paralysis state and being unable to take action. For the mini dragons, it seems quite practical. Yang Yu no longer has to worry about the mini dragon being electrolytically paralyzed by the little dream monster. Of course, the premise is that Yang Yu can whore this feature. On Wu Yuqian's side, Meng Meng Taper sat down and meditated with Dede at Meteor Lake, and the blessing of superpowers left behind by Lao Huidi in the forest during his super evolution was also of great benefit. Bai Diao's training plan is also very simple. He has to fight with the Salted Fish King every day. Wu Yuqian has the best milk tank here, coupled with Bai Diao's own feather perch move, the recovery effect of physical strength is naturally unparalleled. The giant pincer mantis also has feather perch recovery, which can lead to the self-regeneration of the dream taper. Geranium and tropical dragon have the unique recovery-enhancing effect of the grass type in the forest, and are ready for a long-lasting training battle. What's more, Yang Yu's Dede can also use healing waves and beautiful healing ringtones, and does not need to go to the Elf Center next to the Elf Alliance to receive medical treatment. In this special training, except for Tijipai, the little dream monster also has to join in. Train the ghost-type move Shadow Ball and the electric-type move Electromagnetic Wave. In addition, Yang Yu specially bought a charging beam move learning machine for the little dream demon. Mathematical intersection symbol O dot asterisk. The flexible use of electromagnetic wave moves should be upgraded, and the best way to upgrade is to let the little dream monster and the mini dragon learn from each other. The little dream demon learns charging beams, and the mini-dragon is to improve his body's resistance to paralysis. Therefore, the training between the little dream demon and the mini-dragon has been clearly arranged by Yang Yu. Yang Yu only needed to make use of the mini-dragon's gluttonous character and the little dream demon's long-hidden, unexposed prank-loving character to achieve the purpose of training. Now, I guess these two little guys may not know it yet. Teach students in accordance with their aptitude. Yang Yu did a very good job at this point. It's time for a PK between the mini fire-breathing dragon and the electric dream monster. Salted Fish King is still the best sparring partner. In addition to Wu Yukin's Bai Diao having a good elf battle with the Salted Fish King every day, De Meili also had to take action against the Salted Fish King in training. The best way to test the elastic power of De Meili's Beauty Shock is to let the Salted Fish King bear the attack effect of Beauty Shock. Yang Yu can predict that this will probably be a domestic violence scene, a bit like Xiao Yu's Larulas and Ghost Stone at that time. Before they evolved, Ghost Stone was Lalula's best punching bag. Sparring. Now, Yang Yu is not very sure, but Jengar will still be beaten in the future, especially when Yang Xiao will undergo elf training in the future. Let's see if we can use the elastic power of the impact to shake the heavyweight body of Salted Fish King. If even Salted Fish King's body can be shaken by this force, then when we challenge senior sister Fang Lian in the water system gym, De Mei you can catch her elf off guard. This is a trump card. Yang Yu's eyes bloomed with light. He has placed great hopes on De Meili. After this long period of training, De Meili will definitely bloom her charm in the water gym. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokémon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 618. The current potential potions are naturally useless against the strength levels of Salted Fish King and Dude. 3 life potions are prepared for Big Beauty, Mini Dragon, and Little Dream Demon, and 2 physical attack potions are for Big Beauty and Little Dream Demon. Violent. Yang Yu's goal is very clear. Greatly improve the strength of Big Beauty and Little Burst. Facing senior sister Fang Lian's 6 gym level elves, it would definitely not be enough for Yang Yuruo to rely solely on Salted Fish King and Dude. Every gym leader has experienced countless spirit battles and has many unknown trump cards. Every year, there are many trainers who want to challenge the gym leader, but only a handful succeed in the challenge. Senior sister Fang Lian has been the gym leader for 7 or 8 years. It is naturally very difficult for gym level elves to continue to improve their strength, but since trainers in the elven world have embarked on the path of trainers, will they encounter fewer difficulties along the way? Yang Yu had some speculation in his mind. Under the guidance of Grandma Lin, senior sister Fang Lian's elves were very likely to have powerful water elves that were close to the heavenly king level. If the gym leader's elf breaks through to the king level, the Elf Alliance will naturally announce this huge good news to the public. Unlike the super-evolved Lao Huidi, the latter is strategic level news in the elf world. The pressure on the Salted Fish King will increase a lot. However, when there is pressure, there will be motivation. When the Salted Fish King can freely control his anger to form the Red Lotus form, the entire elf world will tremble for him. But now, Yang Yu looked at the Salted Fish King in the Meteor Lake who was being beaten by De Meili with a cheerful expression on his face, and was speechless for a while. Hey, Salted Fish King. However, Yang Yu had a strange expectation in his heart. When the Salted Fish King discovered that the former little fish had evolved and showed a competitive character hidden deep in his heart, would he feel like crying? My girlfriend wants to stab me to death? It has to be said that Yang Yu was also deeply touched by the trip to Tibet. Yang Xiao's current Gardevoir and Jengar are fighting feelings, and at the most critical moment when the super skirt's heart is condensed, that Ghost Stone actually dares to fly into the super place where ghost elves are forbidden to enter. No altar. Now, despite the fact that the water tail used by de Male has no impact on the Salted Fish King. Yang Yu has a hunch that if the Salted Fish King still has this cheerful smile now, he will probably smile soon. Not coming out. Yang Yu, here, eat some fruit. Wu Yuqian also rested under the shade of the tree now. Kentaro didn't know where he brought back a lot of green pears with ox horns wrapped around branches. Naturally, he brought them back to please the milk can. As the owner of the milk can, Wu Yuqian naturally picked up the branches hanging from the ox horns. Pick some off. Kentaro was not happy at first. It was for the milk tank, not for Wu Yuqian. Wu Yuqian glared at the guy. What do you think of this bullshit? Don't you know that to please him, Wu Yuqian, is to please the milk pot? Fool. Wu Yuqian picked a few green pears and stopped arguing with Kentaro. Could it be that the famous Wu Yuqian would argue with a cow? Leader Kentaro looked at Wu Yuqian with disdain and mooed twice. Who took the milk can away and left it alone in the prairie? Wu Yuqian stomped forward fiercely, and the leader of Kentaro was instantly intimidated. After all, facing his father-in-law, it is better to be a little more timid. It tastes very good. Yang Yu took a bite and couldn't help but exclaimed. The crisp and delicious green pear juice immediately flowed down. The light fragrance was refreshing, and the white and tender flesh made him very appetizing. Poppy. Seeing Yang Yu eating, Little Dream Demon and Tajipai had already set their sights on this fruit. As for the mini dragon. Mum. Degree. I was so full after eating the energy cubes. Seeing that Yang Yu had something delicious in his hand, especially the white and tender flesh of the pear, the mini dragon couldn't help but look at it. Why not take it out and eat it earlier? Why is it so full after eating energy cubes? Mum. Yang Yu looked at the overly stuffed mini dragon next to him lying motionless on the ground with some amusement. Only the two beautiful eyes were staring at the green pear in Yang Yu's hand. Yang Yu shook his head left and right. Ha ha. The mini dragon wants to eat but can't open its mouth at all. I can't eat anymore. The little dream demon is smiling happily now. Everyone knows that the mini dragon is greedy. It is better now. It is too greedy. It is so greedy that it cannot even eat good things. When the little dream monster and Tajipai eat, they will not gorge themselves like mini dragons, nor will they eat very full. Of course, if the food is particularly delicious, it is okay to eat more, but it will definitely not be like this is the mini dragon. Next time, don't eat so many energy cubes. Save some green pears for you first. It's just right. Brother Wu took a few more, so you can share them. Yang Yu lowered his head and couldn't help but smile. The green pear is still a bit big for Little Dream Demon and Tajipai, so just divide it between the two elves. This is for you. Help Little Dream Demon and Tajipai peel off the outer skin first. Yang Yu handed it to Dede. Yeah. Dede raised his hands and held the green pear that Yang Yu gave him. As long as Yang Yu gave him food, Dede would always do this. Ever since Yang Yu gave him an energy cube in Ocean Park, this action has always remained in Dede's memory and has never changed. The little dream monster and Pokebee were eating a green pear. The green pear was split into two halves under the stupid mental sharp blade. The little dream monster and Pokebee were half an elf. Choo choo choo. Looking at Wu Yuqian's side again, I saw that Wu Yuqian was also feeding green pears to Juju. I don't know if this macho was a little excited, and he jumped up, like an eagle pounces on food. His mouth penetrated directly into the green pear. Wu Yuqian and Xiao Tianran stared blankly. The color of the green pear is slightly darker than that of the little chirp, and it may even weigh more than the green pear. This little natural bird is now as if it has become one with the green pear, turning into a matcha-flavored snowman. The fluttering little wings are stupid. A mini dragon, a natural bird, and two elves seem to be competing to see who is more naive. One was too full to eat. One was so excited about eating that his beak was sealed by the green pear. We really feel sympathy for each other. The training at de Male is still going on, but it will take a long time. He stood up and swung his tail, and the traces of water flowing through the air were like a sword drawing technique. The Salted Fish King is the wooden stake for training the sword drawing technique. Ding! Please vote, please vote. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 619. Yi. Under the clear sky, on the sparkling surface of Meteor Lake, suddenly, a golden figure like a sword flashed across at high speed, its fan-shaped tail flashing with a cold light in the sunlight. Snapped. This is the 7th day of de Male's training in the drawing sword technique. The Dance of the Dragon state was not applied, and the other status buffs, Beauty Impact and Water Tail were not added to Great Beauty. Although the training seemed simple, this was already the 1000th time Great Beauty had used Water Tail in 7 days. The Great Beauty still did not shake the body of the Salted Fish King, so he continued and returned to training. Calm and hard-working. Maybe some trainers would say that it was just 1000 times of Water Tail, and that was the total number of times in 7 days. However, behind this, none of them knew how hard de Male worked. On the first day, there were 67 Water Tails. This is the answer sheet handed over by Great Beauty. Every time the water flow tailed off, de Male attacked with all her strength. Even if she was exhausted for the last time, she was using her last strength. At the end of the training, there is no more strength at all. Even with the recovery effect of the water flow ring, the dull healing wave, and the moo milk from the milk bottle, even if the beauty has extremely strong body flexibility, she still can't hold on. Attack the Salty Fish King with a Water Tail. With the power of close combat, even if the Salty Fish King doesn't fight back, the beauty's body will still feel the pain caused by the reaction force. On the first day, the Salted Fish King looked cheerful at first. After all, he had also experienced such training. Although he was also beaten, at that time he was still a Carp King and the Devil Coach by Haishi. The strength gap is huge, and it takes several days to practice. Later, with every day of training with de Male never slackened her flow, and the power of every blow would not be low. If it was once or twice, it would be nothing, but this was de Male, day after day, several times. Hundreds of Water Tails. The Salted Fish King started to get serious, and he had to be serious. The Salted Fish King is now an unwavering wooden stake. Every blow from the Water Tail of de Male is nothing to him. After all, the Salted Fish King has a strong dragon scale outer armor. There was concern for the beauty in her eyes, but during this training, the beauty's raised brows and sharp eyes temporarily left this concern behind. Every failure of Shui Shui can arouse the competitive spirit hidden in the beauty's heart. If you can win, who wants to lose the battle between elves? The repeated failures have raised the competitiveness in de Male's heart to the extreme. Today, be better than yourself yesterday. Tomorrow, do better than you did today. Now de Male can perform Water Tail 200 times a day, and she has persevered in everything. De Male will never forget the wounds that the Overlord Megalodon had torn open on the body of Salty Fish King Dida on the ocean. There were also marks of small fishes there. Great Beauty loves peace. As long as you have strong strength and eliminate all opponents, then peace will arise. Yi. A golden figure like a swift blade once again crossed the Meteor Lake. Failure doesn't matter. Start all over again. Beautiful impact, Water Tail. Besides the magical scales, another characteristic of Venus is that it is competitive, but in my impression, shouldn't being competitive improve special attack capabilities? Why does it look like it improves physical attack? Little Reggie Locke was picking up stones on the edge of Meteor Lake, which were his food. In this place with the blessing of Laohu's super evolution, even the stones are particularly delicious. While picking up stones, little Reggie Locke watched de Male's drawing sword technique training. His eyes were filled with both admiration and doubt. He sighed at de Male's efforts and wondered if it had been a long time since he had sorted out the information about meanness. Material. It looked confusing. Flexibility, looking for the softness of the long-eared rabbit, probably to reduce the possibility of being paralyzed. Many dragon, meanness, this owner's idea is really strange, but it is also very effective. Little Reggie Locke's image, it's like throwing beans, throwing a small stone into the sky, and preparing to open your mouth to catch the small stone. Blow. Little Reggie Locke's eyes were dazzled. Just now, did a white belly fly past his eyes? Damn it! My little rock. Many dragon. My cough, bah, bah, bah. The many dragon saw little Reggie Locke throwing some beans to eat, eating them with such gusto, and the beans looked a little sparkling and shining. In an instant, the many dragon's eyes went straight. If you want to snatch the beans that little Reggie Rock eats in an instant, and at the same time make it unable to react and catch the many dragon, without the speed boosted by Dragon Dance, the many dragon will definitely not be able to do it. Let's sneak in a Dragon Dance first. Then, go grab some snacks. Little Reggie Rock never expected that a mini dragon would do something like this in order to eat. Is the dance of the dragon just for you to grab snacks? The mini dragon never expected that he had already used Dragon Dance to grab the shiny and delicious little beans, but they were actually spicy and hard to eat. How did little Reggie Rock eat them? It's going down. Ba ba ba. Little Reggie Locke watched the mini dragon spit out the delicious little bean snacks, and looked at it with disgust. As you still eat such disgusting things with such gusto. Besides, this is what the mini dragon robbed for itself. Okay. It's already pretty good that you didn't ask it to settle the score, but it still looks like this. Even a god can't bear it. Okay. Electromagnetic. Mum. Epsilon epsilon epsilon, star dot backslash U003E backslash U003C. The mini dragon saw that little Reggie Locke was about to raise his hand in anger and use his ultimate move. He quickly twisted his tail and slipped away at the increased speed of Dragon Dance. Seeing the mini dragon's escape speed, little Reggie Locke felt a little pain in his brain. Dance of Dragons. Logically speaking, this should be a high-end and classy move, right? Why did the mini dragon look like this? When I think about it, the mini dragon seems to have to learn from the long-eared rabbit with soft characteristics. If it is difficult to paralyze the mini dragon with electromagnetic waves in the future, wouldn't this little thing be going against the grain? The training method of the mini dragon is really weird. Little Reggie Rock shook his head. As for the small stones, just pick them up by the lake and continue to throw them away to eat. Sitting quietly on the big rock by the lake, this is his favorite place to stay in Meteor Lake. Here he can put down his tail and catch Carp King with his tail. When he was learning from Lao Huidi, if he was special I miss Xiao Xian Xian, so I caught one and gave it a hug. In spring, there are still small butterflies flying on his head. Sit here quietly, through meditation, feel the Meteor Lake and all the movements in the surrounding forest. This is the meditation method taught to him by Lao Huidi. Let meditation replace your own eyes and feel the world around you. This is also practice. Asking for a monthly ticket. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 620. Sun Jia Y, female, 28 years old. Graduated from the Huaguo Elf Art Academy, dance teacher, elite breeder, representative elf, Jackrabbit. He once participated in the national glam competition in college and won the best result of 3rd place. Jackrabbit's representative moves are, repaying favor, stun punch, and bouncing. This is the best candidate that the Elf Alliance has found based on Yang Yu's requirements for the elves. Meteor Forest, is it cultivated in Meteor Forest? Now Meteor Forest has almost become the favorite place for trainers across the country to catch elves. It is cultivated here instead of catching new elves. Indeed, the identity of the national competition champion does not. There is no need to capture other elves in the meteor forest. Sun Jiawei was willing to choose Yang Yu's elf cultivation request among many invitations across the country. The status of national competition champion still played a big role. After entering the meteor forest, someone will come to pick him up. Where is the person? Sun Jiawei looked around for a long time, and finally found a place with clues. Why the hell is there a Kentaro standing here? Do you want to ride Kentaro in the forest to meet up with that Yang Yu? If you ride Kentaro in the forest, Sun Jiawei thinks she is a fool. However, flying elves are still necessary when going out. Sun Jiawei has already taken the elf ball and is ready to summon her own eagle. Ho ho ho! Hold head high! After Yang Yu and Wu Yuqin received the news, they rushed over with Xiao Baobao and Bai Diao respectively. This Kentaro was not sent to pick up people, but to help carry some supplies. After all, I don't know if this breeder has any large luggage. When Sun Jiawei saw the Gyarados appearing in the sky, her head went numb. Although she knew that Yang Yu had a Gyarados, it was still scary to face that ferocious mouth at such a close distance. The Pokeball lights up. A eagle appeared. But when Sun Jiawei's Bai Diao saw little Bao Bao, he was so frightened that he flew backwards, almost stumbling around like a headless fly. Teacher Sun Jiawei, an elite cultivator, Yang Yu actually didn't want to scare the teacher silly when he came, but Yang Yu's flying elves only had 3 heads, Salted Fish King, Little Bao Bao, and Big Beauty. The Salted Fish King came and probably scared him away. Great beauty is not something you can just show off to a breeder. Only Xiao Baobao was angry. It can only be said that this breeder is not very lucky. Brother Qian's flying elf, Tropical Dragon, competed with De Mele. Now he can't fly and is recovering from his injuries. Of course, De Mele's situation is only slightly better. After all, Tropical Dragon's grass-type moves restrain the great beauty of water attributes. As for Bai Diao, after another fight with the Salted Fish King, I felt a little tired carrying Wu Yuqin, but I gradually recovered during the flight. Yang Yu. Also, who is this one? Sun Jiawei quickly calmed down, but the Bai Diao beside him was still flying around with its wings flapping stupidly. Little Bao Bao still has an excellent intimidation effect on ordinary elves. Wu Yuqin introduced himself. Sun Jiawei was a little surprised. This name was not unfamiliar to her. Many female students in the dance class she was teaching often mentioned this name. Are you the male god of competition? Compare to what? Wu Yuqin almost fell off Bai Diao's back. Although he was not very high from the ground now, what the hell was this nonsense nickname? Teacher Sun, let's go to the training camp first. It's a bit conspicuous here. Yang Yu shrugged slightly and gestured to the scene outside the forest. Sun Jiawei glanced around, and sure enough, there were many trainers who were entering the meteor forest to capture elves, all looking this way, and some even stepped back while watching. The same goes for those people. They were obviously scared when they saw Gyarados, and they kept looking at it. Okay, let's go to the training camp first. Sun Jiawei nodded happily, but her face immediately darkened. Didn't these two people take her into account? Wu Yuqin's situation is impossible. In Bai Diao's current situation, it is enough for Wu Yuqin to sit behind him. If Sun Jiawei sits on it, he will be overweight, which Bai Diao cannot bear. Yang Yu was even simpler. Didn't Teacher Sun have a Bai Diao himself? He was flying vigorously. Yang Yu secretly sighed in his heart. Teacher Sun was worthy of being an elite breeder. Bai Diao's cultivation was also quite good. Although compared with senior brother Qian, the eagles are incomparable, so who makes senior brother Qian the god of the eagles? If Teacher Sun has large luggage, you can put it on Kentaro's back, and it will help carry it there. Yang Yu felt that he had thought very carefully, even thinking about transportation. Unfortunately, Teacher Sun doesn't seem to have any big luggage. Senior brother Jian, the god of concubine, please come, Yang Yu couldn't help teasing. I actually have this nickname, how come I don't know it? Wu Yuqian's expression was extremely exciting. After thinking about it, it was at least a complimentary nickname. It must have been given to him by his fangirl. Tisk tisk tisk. He actually covets his competition. Hold head high. Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian were flying in front, with teacher Sun following behind. Bai Diao was flying but he was trembling with fear. Xiao Baobao's strength was suppressed by the intimidation field, not to mention that there was another one next to him that was even stronger than Xiao Baobao. The gym level sculpture competition. Teacher Sun is really difficult. However, Sun Jiawei didn't take it to heart. The generous employment fee, coupled with the ability to establish some connections with the national competition champion Yang Yu and the Diao men's god Wu Yuqian, would be very embarrassing when the time comes to tell the truth. Since you have received money, you can do as many things as you charge. Dance teacher Sun Jiawei still has this professional principle, not to mention, this time the long-eared rabbit is trained by Yang Yu's mini dragon. To train a mini dragon, let a long-eared rabbit do the training, and it must be a long-eared rabbit with soft characteristics. I don't know what the trainer Yang Yu is thinking, but Sun Jiawei won't say anything more, as long as he does his duty. And there is. She actually got a chance to masturbate to the mini dragon. Mini dragons, in China, are the dragon elves that every trainer dreams of. They are extremely popular, especially in the fashion circle. Having a luxury product made from the shed skin of a mini dragon is absolutely huge. Glory, such an extremely precious luxury product, often has a price but no market. I don't know if I can exchange the employment fee for some mini dragon shed skins, a little bit will do. Me chirp. The mini dragon's big white nose produced a big snot bubble. Looking at his face in the transparent snot bubble, there was great confusion in his small eyes. Snapped. Me. 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 The snot bubble suddenly exploded, startling the mini dragon. Scared the baby to death. Dede teleported the still trembling mini dragon to the prepared training venue. This was originally a place for worshipping the natural birds of Meteor Forest, but it is too hot these days, and the natural birds are on strike at home. It is not too late to come back when the weather cools down. So this temporarily became the place where Yang Yu trained the mini dragon. Yeah. Dada raised his head and his eyes lit up. Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian came, and the dance teacher behind them also arrived belatedly. It didn't look like they were very good at Bai Diao. When they arrived at the venue, Sun Jiawei was also a little surprised. Is there such a place deep in the forest? The ground was very flat, and there seemed to be some patterns painted on it that she couldn't understand. Come out, Jackrabbit. Sun Jiawei didn't say much and summoned the signature elf Jackrabbit that she was proud of. Gucci. This long-eared rabbit is indeed very beautiful. It has small pink eyes and a small pink nose. It is very smart. The most beautiful thing is the pair of huge folded ears and the cream-colored clumps of fur on its hands. They are so fluffy. Yes, Bunny Girl deserves her reputation. Before the training starts, I have a little question. Yang Yu hesitated for a moment, then blinked. Well, long-eared rabbit, can you do the bunny dance? Jackrabbit. I have updated 10,000 words per day for 5 consecutive days. Please vote for me. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Xiangxiao. Chapter 621. The long-eared rabbit dances, isn't it just the rabbit dance? Could it be called another dance? Not to mention Sun Jiawei, the dance teacher, Wu Yuqian also felt that Yang Yu's brain circuit was quite strange. However, based on Wu Yuqian's understanding of Yang Yu, the reason why Yang Yu asked this was, Could he do the rabbit dance? This is quite possible. In the training of elf moves, although Yang Yu's divergent thinking sounds irrelevant to the moves, in fact, it has unexpected effects. Just like that time on the central island of the world. It was really the disco that caused the island to sink, but the culprit was not the roaring whale king. The real mastermind was standing here. Wu Yuqian also participated in the secret disco at that time. Yang Yu saw that neither the long-eared rabbit nor its owner, teacher Sun Jiawai, seemed to understand what he was talking about, so Yang Yu whispered a few more words: left, left, right, right, front and back, jump, jump, jump. The jackrabbit still looked confused. The code didn't match, so obviously the jackrabbit couldn't do it. Yang Yu felt a little regretful, but it would be fine soon. The long-eared rabbit couldn't do it, so Yang Yu would teach it. It was very simple anyway. Can we start? Sun Jiawai gestured. Her classes are charged by the hour. One course costs 4,000 elf coins per hour. It is best not to have more than 5 elves at a time, otherwise the teaching effect will be affected. Okay, okay, okay. Start, come on, mini dragon. Mum. Although the mini dragon didn't know what to do, it still crawled over obediently, stood up, tilted its head, and asked a question. Teacher Sun will train your body shape with her jackrabbit these days. She is more professional in this aspect. You should learn from her. She will spend 2 hours every afternoon and reward you with more delicious energy cubes. Yang Yu Sungsun is good at tempting. As long as the food supply is in place, the mini dragon will carry out Yang Yu's instructions very obediently. Orcs will never be slaves unless they have food and shelter. This sentence still makes sense. Mum. The mini dragon turned its head, looked left and right, cleverly twisted to a place with bushes on the side, pulled up a branch with its tail, and instantly sprayed a small flame from its mouth. Hey! Shooting flames, Sun Jiawai was slightly startled. This time it was Wu Yuqian's turn to have questions in his head, and he asked in surprise, Yang Yu, your mini dragon can shoot flames. Let me go, how did you learn this? The mini dragon is still in its infancy, right? Even the small fire dragon you have to evolve into a fire dinosaur to be able to master it to a certain extent. Your mini dragon is too strong. It's good luck. It's really an accident that I can learn to spray flames. Yang Yu didn't lie. The mini dragon sprayed flames. Thanks to eating the secret spicy hot pot of the fire gymnasium, even the fire gymnasium Zhang Jilian never imagined that the mini dragon's flame jet could be so mastered. Wu Yuqian nodded in agreement. If he had used the fire-breathing move learning machine when he was a mini dragon, he would not have been able to learn it, because the mini dragon has not yet mastered the ability to turn elf energy into flames. Even if he learned it, he would not be able to learn it. It is difficult to control the power of fire. Now, Yang Yu's mini dragon can actually control its flames so well, which can only be said to be a gift. While Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian were talking, the mini dragon used its tail to quickly slap the branch that had been lit for a while on the ground to extinguish it. There were black charcoal on the head of the branch. The mini dragon wrapped its tail around the branches and drew pictures on the ground. It's ice cream. Oh my god, this mini dragon is so smart. It actually knows how to burn the branches black with jet flames, then wraps its tail around the branches, uses the branches as pens to draw, and can even draw ice cream. Sun Jiawai was simply stunned. Coupled with the appearance of the mini dragon, the operation of the mini dragon was enough to make little stars appear in her eyes. No one can resist the charm of mini dragons. The corners of Yang Yu's mouth twitched, and the mini dragon didn't forget to draw a few small black dots on the ice cream. The mini dragon not only eats delicious energy cubes, but also chocolate-flavored ice cream. Now, I am bargaining with Yang Yu. Mini dragon, is it cheating? Wu Yuqian looked at Yang Yu's mini dragon suspiciously. It sprayed flames and painted ice cream, subverting Wuyukin's view of the mini-dragon. As long as it's about food, it can cheat. There was something in Yang Yu's words, but Wuyukin only understood the meaning in front of him. Another meaning refers to the mini-dragon's flame jet. I have to say that the mini-dragon's ice cream is really well drawn. Sure enough, after eating too much, you will know that you need to add chocolate. Mini-dragon, study hard and behave well, and I'll let Dede make you chocolate-flavored ice cream. Mum. After the mini-dragon lost the branch, it shook its tail excitedly. At the same time, it came to Yang Yu and stretched out the tip of its tail to signal. Yang Yu smiled and held the little thing's tail. Make a deal? Yeah. Dede patted his belly, just leave the ice cream matter to Dede. Okay, mini-dragon, our training begins today. The size and shape of the elf play a very important role both in life and in the battle with the elf. For example, for my long-eared rabbit, it is strong and strong. But the legs are not thick, the waist is delicate and soft. Gucci. Teacher Sun Jiawai's bodybuilding class has started. The deal reached by mini-dragon and Yang Yu will naturally listen to the class carefully. It's all about eating. In order to eat more delicious chocolate ice cream, Yang Yuxian asked Duide to take care of the mini-dragon here. He took Xiaobao back to Meteor Lake first. The little dream demon and Tijipai who were playing there could also come and listen to the class. By the way, let me see the little dream monster. The mini-dragon has been working hard here. If you don't learn charging beam well by then, you may not be able to charge the tail of the mini-dragon. Wuyukin's elves mainly include Geranium and Milk Tank, and he is also planning to take them over to train their bodies together. Because Geranium has lived in a marine environment for a long time, the use of moves is not as smooth as expected. Maybe this time with Jackrabbit and the guidance of breeder Sun Jiawai, they can improve it. Thinking about it this way, this cultivator and dance teacher is really worth finding. When it comes to training and nurturing elves, junior brother Han still has many unexpected ideas. He can take the wrong approach, but it can produce unexpected miraculous results. In the Meteor Lake, the beautiful flow of water is still going on, tirelessly and tirelessly. Every swing is to protect the people and elves that it wants to protect in the future. This also includes the Salted Fish King and the Dumb King who are even stronger than themselves. Roar. The Salted Fish King slowly closed his eyes. It's time for him to move on. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 622. The little dream monster has no interest in dancing. Big head, small body, short hands, and short feet. It's just floating around. If you want to dance, you are clearly making things difficult for the little dream monster. Most of Tijipai's little body is wrapped in eggshells. He can wave his star-shaped hands and round feet. Although he jumps around and wants to learn to dance, the eggshell itself is hard and can spin in circles. They would all fall to the ground, and there was no way to learn the kind of dance that requires a lot of flexibility. I have to say that teacher Sun Jiawai, who has participated in the National Gorgeous competition and won 3rd place, does have her own set of insights in guidance. Mini-Dragon, Geranium, and Milk Jug, these are the 3 students in this class currently. Little Juju originally wanted to jump up and learn from it, but he was just a ball, a waxy matcha ball, so where did he need any other flexibility? Mini-Dragon, come on, follow the Jackrabbit's twisting S-shaped movement and spin in circles. Your body is currently the best and easiest to train. Yes, that's what it looks like. Geranium, grass elf, when watered by water, you should make your body like water. Don't be so tight, it will look too dry, and then your neck and body, come on, twist together. Milk can, Jackrabbit, help the milk can. This cow's hoof needs to stretch its muscles and bones. Don't use too much force. Just stretch it out. Dede went back to prepare dinner, and prepared some desserts by the way, such as the chocolate-flavored ice cream that the mini-dragon wanted to eat. I don't know if Master Lao Huidi likes it. You can also make some red bean smoothie. Dede remembered that Master Lao Huidi had some 5 spoons, why not make 5 desserts? This is an excellent idea. The little dream demon watched the mini-dragon learn the dance moves hard, thinking that he could not fall behind, so he picked up the move learning machine given to it by Yang Yu, and it started learning in a burst. However, it is not so easy for the little dream monster to turn the thin sizzling electric light of the electromagnetic wave into a charging beam. After all, it is not a move of this type. Even the greedy Hanpai's mini-dragon is learning here, so of course the little dream demon will not be outdone. If the mini-dragon becomes more powerful by then, the little dream demon can't even beat the mini-dragon, right? Charging beam, come on. Sizzle. The little dream demon's eyes were fierce and emotionless, lightning flashed on his fingertips, he took a step forward, his posture was very handsome, and then he couldn't control the electric power, but the electricity hit his hand. The little dream demon fell into a state of paralysis. Poppy. Tijipai looked at the motionless little dream sister in confusion, thinking that it was playing the game of a motionless wooden figure, so he imitated it properly, stood upright, and remained motionless together. Squeak, squeak, squeak. At the edge of the sacrificial site, the long-tailed monsters hanging on the treetops were all laughing secretly. Some of them couldn't control it anymore and burst out laughing, laughing forward and back. If it weren't for the tails hanging on otherwise, they would fall down from the tree laughing. The little dream demon was angry, but he was paralyzed by his own electricity and couldn't move at all. You monkeys, wait until the little dream demon has 10 mana points. Poppy. Tijipai waved his finger, aimed at the long-tailed monster hands, and activated his finger-waving technique. Just when the little dream demon was still pouting and cursing, he saw a beam of electricity next to him with a beep dash sound, and the electricity hit the buttocks of the long-tailed monster on the tree. Squeak. A series of long-tailed monster hands fell from the tree, motionless, and all fell into a state of paralysis. Along with the little dream monster, they became motionless wooden figures. God's grace. Super lucky. The little dream demon looked at Tijipai's shaking hands with dull eyes, and then looked at his own hands that were a little bit burnt by electricity. When he compared them, he felt uncomfortable. Ugh. Tijipai just casually shook out the charging beam, but the little dream demon still has to work hard to learn it. After learning it, he still needs to use it. If he doesn't use it well, he will be shocked. If he is shocked, he will become like this. The little dream demon feels miserable in her heart, but the little dream demon doesn't say anything. However, looking at the long-tailed monsters who were forced to stand together after being electrocuted by Tijipai, the little dream demon felt extremely comfortable. I'm telling you to scream, scream, scream. These long-tailed monsters also wanted to cry. At first, they just wanted to join in the fun and see what kind of dance they were learning. But they didn't expect that there was something more interesting than learning to dance, and that was to watch the little dream monsters electrocute themselves. I really can't help it. However, he was electrocuted by Tijipai, and he was forced to stand even after being electrocuted. Unexpected disaster. At this time, a strong man riding a small bao passed by in the sky. Yang Yu came to inspect whether the mini-dragon and the little dream demon were lazy. The mini-dragon was serious and his movements were very standard. Even Teacher Sun was praising them. Let's look at the little dream demon. What do you think Yang Yu discovered? Little dream demon, you are actually lazy. When the little dream demon saw Yang Yu coming, she was so excited that she almost cried. Little dream demon, what's going on? Why are you here, punished to stand? Yang Yu saw that the little dream demon was motionless and subconsciously thought that the little dream demon had done something wrong and was punished by Teacher Sun, but he thought, something is wrong, even if it is forced to stand. According to the temperament of the little dream demon, it should still be floating in mid-air. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Hey, let me go, why are there so many long-tailed monsters here, and you are also standing here? Yang Yu was amused. The postures of the long-tailed monsters are really too funny. One of them is just like a sculpture, and there is another one. The funniest one has the hair on his tail burnt. Could it be that he accidentally electrocuted himself while training the charging beam? This situation is really possible. After all, when the little dream demon first started learning electromagnetic waves, he also used a reverse electric shock to paralyze himself. Mastering the charging beam is not that simple. The little dream demon looks like a wooden man. With his motionless posture, Yang Yu felt that his guess was correct. Little dream demon, did you learn to charge the beam and electrocute yourself? The little dream demon nodded quickly. It really wasn't lazy. The little dream demon worked hard, but accidentally electrocuted itself. The paralysis can be cured by the spicy cherry tree fruit, but the little dream demon will not like the fiery smell of spicy cherry. Yang Yu stretched out his hand and gently massaged the little dream demon's body with his index finger. Are those long-tailed monster hands from Tijipai electric? Yang Yu still has some doubts. After all, the little dream monster has just started to learn the charging beam, but it is not so powerful that it can charge so many long-tailed monster hands. The electricity was paralyzing, and the only possible cause left was Tijipai. Poppy. It's really Tijipai. The little guy's finger-wagging technique still doesn't make sense. Hold head high. The iconic bird song of Wu Yuqian's debut came from the sky. Senior brother Qian, you came just in time. The course here is about to end. I want your geranium to help me use aromatherapy. My little dream demon accidentally paralyzed himself while practicing electric moves. And, there are also a few long-tailed monsters here that have also suffered. Electric moves are not easy to learn. It is really easy to electrocute the elf or the trainer. Wu Yuqian got off by Diao's back and came to the training venue with a smile. Teacher son, how is the performance of the mini dragon? Yang Yu asked with a smile, as if he was going to a kindergarten to pick up a child who went to school for the first time. Don't worry, the mini dragon performed very well and studied very hard. Sun Jiawei smiled brightly. Mini dragon, geranium, and milk can, these three elves are actually very rare. I am lucky enough to cultivate them through dance. It still feels like very good. Milk tank, bring some moo milk. Jackrabbit and teacher son are quite tired now. Drink some moo milk to recover. Geranium, come, use aromatherapy to help the little dream monster and long-tailed monster. Relieve the paralysis with your hands. Wu Yuqian arranged everything in an orderly manner. Got twist. As a refreshing fragrance slowly spread in the space, the little dream demon and the motionless long-tailed monsters finally got rid of their paralysis. Squeak, squeak, squeak. The little dream monster and the long-tailed monsters who sat on the ground and slowly resumed their actions all expressed their gratitude to geranium. Yang Yu, that rabbit dance you mentioned before, what kind of dance is the one on the left, right, and left? During training in the afternoon, I also thought about it. Is it a brand new dance? After all, I have never heard of the rabbit dance. After Sun Jiawei slowly drank the moo milk, she was still a little curious about the rabbit dance Yang Yu mentioned at the beginning. Perhaps it was because of the dance teacher. As soon as I heard the name rabbit dance, I really wanted to know what the rabbit dance Yang Yu was talking about was. This is actually very simple. Just like me. Left, left, right, right, forward, backward, turn around, jump jump jump. Yang Yu gave a simple demonstration. It really shouldn't be too simple. Even the little dream demon who had no interest or feeling in dancing could understand it at a glance. There is another way. There is a long cue. Put your hand on the shoulder of the person in front. You don't have to turn around, just like this. Yang Yu once again demonstrated how to dance one section of the train with multiple people, left and right, right and left, front and back, jump, jump, rabbit dance, it's that simple. Squeak, squeak, squeak. The long-tailed monster is very intelligent, and he also likes to play. When he saw Yang Yu's demonstration, he knew everything at a glance, and even quickly put his shoulders up one after another. Left, left, right, right, front, back, bouncy. Hey, this dance is easy. These long-tailed monsters jumped into the forest like a train. Such simple movements and rhythms immediately attracted many long-tailed monsters around them. As the line gets longer and longer, more and more long-tailed monsters join in and dance the rabbit dance. The monkey dance of the elf world was born. Asking for votes. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 623. Shocking. A detailed list of the confusing behaviors of the long-tailed monster in Meteor Forest. Hundreds of monkeys actually did this kind of thing collectively. Cow Cow News, the long-tailed monsters of Meteor Forest perform a collective weird dance. The length of the team is the longest in the Guinness Book of World Records. Shuabo News, explore the truth about the long-tailed monsters' monkey dance. Meteor Forest trainers witnessed it with their own eyes and recounted their personal experiences. The following is an interview with the trainer. Hello everyone, I am the trainer Lacine. When I was catching the elf bad butterfly in the Meteor Forest yesterday, I suddenly saw a very long queue. It was a group of long-tailed monsters lining up to dance weird dances. The queue was very long. I stood there for more than 10 minutes, and their line has not jumped to the end. All my bad butterflies ran away. Ha ha ha, Yang Yu, it's trending, monkey dance is trending, and it's ranked first in the trending list. It makes me laugh so hard, cough, cough, cough. Wu Yuqian woke up in the morning and was drinking moo milk for breakfast. He flipped through the news and almost spit out the milk. He quickly put the glass down and laughed. Yang Yu. Monkey dance? This is clearly the bunny dance, okay. These heretics. Yang Yu himself didn't expect that Duan's rabbit dance would be accidentally discovered by outside trainers from the Meteor Forest because of its long-tailed hands. These monkeys clearly wanted to make big news. As a result, there was really big news. Yang Yu, the long-tailed monsters have stolen Teacher Wang's headlines again. Ahem, cough, cough, I can't do it anymore. I have to slow down, or I won't even be able to eat breakfast. Wu Yuqian handed his phone to Yang Yu to look at. There is an internet connection in Lao Hu's treehouse, which was installed by Gengui. Since Lao Hu's last successful super evolution, Gengui Lao He wanted to give Lao Hu's more fun in the elf internet, so a large screen was installed in the treehouse and connected to the internet. In this way, if Lao Huidi wants to buy something online, Gengui Lao He can also send it directly from the ghost intranet, which is very convenient. Yang Yu waved his hand. He didn't want to read any headlines. What was the name of these news? It was actually called Monkey Dance. After being depressed for a while, Yang Yu didn't care anymore. This dance is perfect for Little Dream Demon and Tijipai. Very simple. Energy cubes that can help elves improve their flexibility have arrived. This time, the color of the energy cubes is brown, a bit like coffee-flavored sugar cubes. Big Beauty eats 5 pieces first, and Mini Dragon eats 2 pieces first. The quantity does not need to be large at the beginning, and it can be slowly increased as time goes by. This kind of energy cube is also suitable for Salted Fish King and Little Bao Bao. However, Yang Yu has to be more leisurely when feeding, otherwise the small money may be empty in the blink of an eye. The remaining thing to note is that you cannot feed the Little Dream Monster and Tijipai. When the Little Dream Monster becomes stronger, you can customize energy cubes suitable for ghost elves to eat. As for Tijipai, he should eat as little energy cubes as possible. If he has a rich senior brother, he can drink moo milk. It doesn't need to be too much, just a small cup is enough. Yang Yu's custom-made meal plan was made together with Dede. If you need anything for lunch or dinner, you can book it directly to the Meteor Forest Light Rail Station. Yang Yu will ride Xiaobao there to pick it up. Occasionally Wu Yukin will ride by Dio there. In fact, the most convenient way is to ask Old Hu to open a portal, but there is no need to trouble him with such a small matter. In normal times, Lao Huidi would basically not use other superpowers except for consuming the superpower to keep his body afloat. Sometimes, when faced with evil elves, this power will be greatly ineffective. Therefore, in daily life, it is best not to rely too much on superpowers, even if you firmly believe in your own strength. Furthermore, Lao Huidi has passed those passionate years, and now for him, ordinary life is the best life. Back to basics. Lao Hu's daily life is the life that Dede longs for most, but all of this requires extraordinary power as a premise. Sitting on the big meditative stone, I spread my thick legs in a daze, looking at the rising sun on the other side of the meteor lake. In the power of the sun contained in the sunlight, I felt that I was still a slowpoke. Incomprehensible superpowers. In the super holy land, the ability of the sun rock to draw power from the sun and the moonstone's ability to draw power from the moon gave Dede something to think about. Dede has a very smart brain. Sunrise, sunset, moonrise, and moonset all contain superpowers related to nature. Just like Master Lao Huidi can sense the movement anywhere in the entire meteor forest just by sitting in the tree house, without even using his superpowers, it is as if the entire forest is the incarnation of Lao Huidi, the meteor lake is the heart of Lao Huidi, and the tributaries flowing from the lake to various places are the blood vessels of the whole body, and the dense forest gathered together in the forest is quite Lao Hu's extremely thick beard. Alu. Dede faced the sun, stood up slowly, stood on tiptoes, and raised his hands high, as if he wanted to hold the sun in his hands. Dede's golden conch cap, with its brilliant golden light, felt the natural power in the sun's rays. At this time, the sound of water tail hitting began to be heard in Meteor Lake. De Male trains on moves day after day. With every swing, De Male can feel a little bit of progress. Her competitive spirit makes the sweat shed through hard work not feel bitter, but will feel in the future sweet. The little dream demon will also continue to learn charging beam. I think back when the little dream demon learned the shadow clone, he was a little genius. It was only a little difficult. How could he stump the most invincible and cute little dream demon in the world? Poppy. Mini Dragon. You're here to steal my stone again. What are you doing? Is that something you can eat? If you can't eat it, don't waste it. Little Reggie Rock was furious again. Me. 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 The mini dragon running away like crazy seemed to be enjoying the pleasure of seeking death. As long as it uses dragon dance enough times, it can grab what little Reggie eats, and more importantly, little Reggie can't catch it. Watching the mini dragon run away again, little Reggie once again withdrew the electromagnetic cannon that seemed to be fired from his fists, and then nodded secretly. The mini dragon is a little faster than yesterday, and it is actually more courageous than yesterday. I robbed it once yesterday. Little Reggie thought that the mini dragon would not come again. Who knew? Tomorrow, I will never be robbed by you again. Please vote. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huo Chiang Shao. Chapter 624. Left, left, right, right, forward, back, jump jump jump. Sun Jiawei and her long-eared rabbit danced the monkey dance that has recently become popular in China with a mini dragon, geraniums, and milk cans. In various elf universities or elf halls across the country, in addition to trainers, elves are also dancing this simple and easy dance. Videos are shot and uploaded to the website one by one, attracting many tourists to come to the elf hall on weekends to watch different elves dance the monkey dance, which is very interesting. Following the long-eared rabbit's learning, the mini dragon can now pack itself. After tying the head and tail, Yang Yu doesn't even have to put in any effort and can just carry the knotted mini dragon. Soft. Elves with this characteristic will not fall into a paralyzed state. When an elf in a paralyzed state acquires this characteristic, the paralysis will be eliminated. Source: obtained from Dancing with the Jackrabbit at 1423 on September 17, 2020 in the elf calendar. Note: body flexibility can be improved through dance training, and some elves and humans can master it. This characteristic is similar to what Yang Yu imagined. After obtaining it, he seems to have already made a plan. There is a certain correlation between some moves and characteristics. The dragon dance of the mini dragon can actually improve the flexibility of the body. No special surprises. Having the nurturing guidance of a more professional dance teacher will be of great benefit to the future growth of mini dragon. That's it for today's class. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to consolidate what you study every day. There will be a test tomorrow. The 15-day course is definitely enough for the little mini dragon. There is still one day at the end for a small assessment and a day of rest. Take photos with the mini dragon, geranium, and milk can as a souvenir. After all, these three elves are also students of Sun Jia Y and Jackrabbit. After hearing the exam, the mini dragon, geranium, and milk can, who were about to relax, tightened their expressions and held their breaths. The little elves can't escape the exam. Around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Yang Yu and Wu Yuqian drove a plane to pick up the elves after school. Mum. When the mini dragon saw Yang Yu, it swished excitedly, and wrapped around Yang Yu's body with the help of Xiao Bao Bao's tail. Finally, he could go home for dinner. However, the mini dragon is a little tired from training now. See if you can be cute and get some snacks. Go back to the pokeball and rest for a while. It's much quieter in the pokeball, and then come out when it's time to eat. This little guy, after Yang Yu touched the mini dragon's head, he fed the mini dragon some raisins to satisfy his craving. The mini dragon obediently returned to the elf ball. Poppy. Little Dream Demon and Tajipai also want to eat raisins. Sun Jia Y was still envious of Yang Yu for having so many cute elves, and Wu Yuqian also had them. Every time Wu Yuqian sat on the eagle to pick up the geraniums and milk cans, there was a small elf that looked like a matcha. On the head of the Baidiao, sometimes on the head of Wu Yuqian. Teacher Sun, we will take you out of the forest. Sun Jia Y's face turned dark, and the corners of her mouth began to tremble uncontrollably. She is the happiest when she is in class. With the cute elf accompanying her, she is not tired at all. On the contrary, the most painful time was on the way to class and on the way back after class. Can you please stop riding Gyarados and come here? Sun Jia Y's understanding of Yang Yu is simply the champion of the national competition individual competition, so naturally she doesn't think much about it. For example, Yang Yu, a Gyaradosaurus, is actually the gentlest and least scary person. If the gym level Salted Fish King comes, Teacher Sun's Diao Diao may be frightened and faint, which is not good. Standing on little Bao Bao's head, Little Dream Demon was blowing the wind while telling little Bao Bao what he had learned today. By the way, he also talked about the failure and success of learning the charging beam. Little Bao Bao listened very carefully while flying. Picking up Little Dream Demon and Tajipai should be the most interesting and relaxing thing for little Bang Bao these days, but after going back, he still has to train. The training between Salted Fish King and Da Mali deeply shocked Xiao Bao Bao. At first, he seemed to have no special training for this kind of thing. It seemed very simple and he didn't pay much attention to it. However, in the dead of night, When everyone was quiet, little Bao Bao flew farther away and tried a few times by himself. The salted fish stabs and the water flows to its tail. After hitting him 10 times in a row, his stamina was a bit exhausted. It's hard to imagine how Damalai persisted. The little fish that once still needed Xiao Bao Bao's patrol protection is now stronger than Xiao Bao Bao's. Salted Fish King is Xiao Bao Bao's role model. Now, there's one more. Ho ho ho. Xiao Bao Bao sped up and rushed back to train. 297, 298, 299. Little Reggie Rock stood in a safe place that would not be washed away by the lake water, counting the number of tail bombardments today for the great beauty in the meteor lake. Yi. This is the 300th water tail performed by Great Beauty today. Numbness and fatigue, the body, especially the tail, seems to have a feeling that is not like her own. The amount of training every day is getting bigger and bigger, and De Mei really wants to use Dragon Dance to complete the next time. Shui, however, restrained himself forcefully. There are no shortcuts to this kind of training. The water flow tail seems to be engraved in the bones of De Mei. No matter what time or situation, she can swing the powerful tail with great proficiency. However, he still couldn't shake the Salted Fish King one bit. Every powerful blow on the Salted Fish King is also a kind of training for the Salted Fish King. He uses this relatively slight pain to actively arouse a lot of anger hidden in his body, instead of doing what he used to do. Only when facing huge pressure can one mobilize his full anger and turn it into Red Lotus form. Take the initiative on your own side instead of letting anger control the Salty Fish King's mental state. As early as that time of evolution, there had been such a risk. If he had not appeared in the end and controlled the furious Red Lotus form of the Salted Fish King in time, otherwise, the Salted Fish King, who was so angry that his sanity was consumed by anger, might have completely destroyed the whole body. All waters were destroyed. The second violent Red Lotus form was in the water gym, where he had a master-disciple duel with the devil coach by Haishi Ziobai, who taught the Salted Fish King himself. When he was frozen by the freezing light and was about to lose, the anger returned and collapsed. Frozen, turning the entire frozen field into ground cracking powder. That time, he still appeared in a daze, causing the Salted Fish King in the furious Red Lotus state to stop his brutal attack. The third Red Lotus state was on the way to the central island of the world. With the improvement of strength, the understanding and control of anger. This time, in the duel with the Overlord Megalodon, although I could control my sanity and not be eroded by anger, but he still couldn't take the initiative to mobilize his anger immediately and turn into the Red Lotus state. In this training session, Yang Yu wanted the Salted Fish King to take the initiative to master the ability of the Scarlet Gyarados in the Red Lotus state, instead of challenging the Water Gym leader before using the Red Lotus transformation was sealed by Senior Sister Fang Lian's spirit. At that time, in the Water System Gym, the battle between Salted Fish King and White Sea Lion Ziobai, the gym leader Fang Lian was present, and the reason why White Sea Lion Ziobai lost in that battle was because the venue environment was still not cold enough, and the freezing the power of light is still a bit lacking. Yang Yu has reason to believe that Senior Sister Fang Lian will never make stupid mistakes in the elf battle. Every gym leader will not show mercy to any challenger in the elf battle. Even if Yang Yu and Senior Sister Fang Lian the teacher comes from the same school. Yang Yu is even sure that if Senior Sister Fang Lian knew that Yang Yu was really going to the water gym to challenge her, then she would definitely be more cautious and the requirements would be stricter, and she would never give Yang Yu the slightest chance to come back. If the Salty Fish King, the strongest among the elves of Yang Yu, was defeated with thunder before he entered the Scarlet Gyarados state, then Yang Yu would definitely lose this gym challenge. I hope Damalai's beautiful impact and water tail training can help the Salted Fish King. Yang Yu was standing under the treehouse at this moment, looking at the meteor lake, brewing the great beauty of the 300th attack. Precisely because it was De Mei who attacked the Salted Fish King, even if it was boring training day after day, the Salted Fish King would be willing to accompany Male to continue training. In fact, he would not feel any anger in his heart, but would be in a good mood. It can be pleasurable. There will hardly be any anger. If under such conditions, the Salted Fish King can control himself to transform into the Scarlet Gyarados in the Red Lotus state. This is what Yang Yu wants to see. Because this means that the Salted Fish King has truly mastered the secret of transforming into the Red Lotus state. Yang Yu also had good intentions for this. It is indeed very difficult to continue to improve the gym level combat power. This is not to say that Salted Fish King has a bad training attitude, but sometimes, you need to put more fire behind Salted Fish King to force Salted Fish King. A handful. Like a mini dragon. The mini dragon was electrocuted on the butt several times by the little dream monster, and the tip of its tail was scorched by the electricity. Now it not only eats hard, but also trains hard. The mini dragon's efforts are also seen by the little dream monster. If the mini dragon blasts the little dream monster's face with jet flames like last time in the hot pot restaurant, it will be scorched. When that time comes, the little dream demon is unable to shock the mini dragon's ass because it is not strong enough. With the little dream demon's temperament, it will definitely go crazy. Therefore, the little dream demon has already begun to work hard to learn electric moves. Not only to electrocute the mini dragon's butt, but also to electrocute the butts of other more powerful elves in the future. Just like Lao Huidi can easily shock the master's big S. Little dream demon, in action. In the tree house, after Lao Hu easily learned what the little dream demon was thinking, his beard twitched. I never expected it to be such a motivation. Suddenly, Lao Hu's eyes changed. This aura full of destructive power. The bored little Regielocke jumped up and took off from the ground in shock. At this moment, behind the majestic and motionless blue figure, there began to be vaguely covered with a layer of strange scarlet blood. Roar! The Salted Fish King suddenly opened his scarlet eyes. Is it going to succeed? Yang Yu's heart suddenly jumped, and he was extremely nervous. At the same time, he was filled with joy. Scarlet, Yang Yu, is your Salted Fish King about to enter that state? Wu Yuqian was shocked. The little Jeju on his head covered his eyes with his wings and shrank to Wu Yuqian. The nest of hair was shrunk tightly and shivering. At this moment, an extremely brilliant golden tail light flashed across the meteor lake. Yi! Suddenly, Great Beauty burst out with an unimaginable momentum, swinging its tail towards the Salted Fish King, from blue to brilliant gold. Roar! Sigma! The Salted Fish King's expression suddenly felt a little bad. An irresistible force came directly from the incomprehensible tail attack of the Great Beauty. The Salted Fish King was knocked away from the meteor lake. And the direction in which it was shot away. Yang Yu's expression suddenly changed. Salted Fish King, don't come over here. As Yang Yu ran away, the elf ball on his body popped out instantly. Dragon Tail. This move forced the Salted Fish King to go back to the elf ball. At the same time, another elf ball jumped out. A mini dragon, still resting in a daze, ejected into the air. Mum! What's going on? The mini dragon went back to the elf ball to have a good rest. He was sleeping well. Why did he suddenly fly out on his own? A beautiful arc was drawn in the sky. Plop! A small water splash appears in the meteor lake. Great Beauty. Yang Yu. Wu Yuqian. Regielocke Jr. The Salty Fish King in the elf ball and the mini dragon falling into the meteor lake. The 6th day of 10,000 days. Please give me a monthly ticket. Pokémon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Xiangxiao. Chapter 625. That move just now, if I guessed correctly, it should be a very practical magical skill Dragon Tail in the battle between elves, right? Yang Yu, you are so powerful, Minas, This should be the 15th day. I have been training Watertail, but I really didn't expect, that the aura that had just been transformed into scarlet by the salted fish king would be pushed to the limit in an instant. Break the limit. Wu Yuqian really admired him. While he admired Yang Yu, he also admired Minas. Any trainer should understand the principle of such training. This is how I feel when I study in school. However, there are only a few trainers and elves who can persevere. The correct method, hard training and a little bit of luck, for the elves, perhaps, the 99% sweat and 1% inspiration are better than the 99%. What's more important than sweat is this 1% inspiration. Luck is really important sometimes. It was because at this critical moment, the condition of the salted fish king resonated with Minas that the blue water tail waved out at the end changed into a golden red dragon tail under the setting sun. Dragon tail. Bounce the opponent and force a replacement elf that has not lost its combat effectiveness. Precisely because of this, Mini Dragon was still in Yang Yu's elf ball, and it was also Yang Yu's only elf still in the elf ball, so. Baiu. The mini dragon was inexplicably forced to fly out of the elf ball and fell into the meteor lake. Mum. In the meteor lake, the mini dragon poked its head out with doubts and confusion on its face. It had no idea what the situation was now or what had just happened. Yi. De Mali swam over in a hurry, lowered her head, feeling happy and a little embarrassed at the same time, looking at the big pokeball on the ground containing the salted fish king with concern on her face. Under the setting sun, the beauty is covered with a layer of red clouds. At this moment, the azure fan-shaped tail still has the golden dragon aura remaining. The most incredible thing is that the center of the scales of the fan tail is scarlet in color, which is the same as the red fish king before. The colors at the beginning of the lotus transformation are exactly the same. Noble, but not cool. Beautiful, but not coquettish. It is really the extremely beautiful Minas. Roar. The salted fish king came out of the elf ball. It's just that he has too many eyes like a duck, and there are 3 stupid hairs missing on his head. Now, both of salty fish king's beards are scratching his head. The situation just now always feels very baffling. The salted fish king has been brewing for a long time, and these days he has been trying to control the small amount of anger, hoping to use these sparks to ignite the blood in his body and transform into the scarlet Gyarados in the red lotus state. Just about succeeded. No, that's how I should put it, I almost succeeded in showing off just now. The scarlet color has already covered the scales on the salted fish king's back, dyeing his pupils red. It only takes a little more time to turn the bicycle into a motorcycle and the motorcycle into a Ferrari. Just imagine, in the entire meteor lake, are there more blue Gyarados, or are there more red Magikarp? If the salty fish king's whole body turns into the color of the Magikarp, this is definitely the true color that the king should have. With the blood of anger, dyeing the red and blue body, the red lotus state, the scarlet Gyarados, it will be to the entire group of Magikarp. Unparalleled inspiration. The complete body state of the salted fish king. Then, at the moment when his momentum was rising and his body was about to successfully transform into a red lotus, the salted fish king was immediately slapped into the elf ball by the beautiful tail. At this moment, should the salted fish king be crying or laughing? Anyway, Yang Yu couldn't laugh or cry now. Who knew that such a dramatic thing would happen? The salted fish king has now shown that he can actively control his anger to transform into the scarlet Gyarados. The beautiful water tail, through this day-to-day training, has made a major breakthrough and mastered a brand new magical skill that forces the opponent to exchange elves in the elves battle, Dragon Tail. The most pitiable thing is probably the baby mini dragon. Until now, he was still looking around, tilting his head, not knowing what had just happened. In this regard, Yang Yu felt that it was better to let Dede give the mini dragon an extra dessert. The mini dragon didn't care about that. As long as there were delicious food, Other small episodes could be forgotten. The happiness of a foodie is so simple. Yang Yu, compared with your training progress of Minaz, the speed of my giant claw mantis is still a little too slow. If Minaz and giant claw mantis had a duel now, it should be even faster. It's easy to fight. Wu Yuqian sighed slightly. It's not that giant pincer mantis has not made progress, but it is lagging behind compared to Menyu's progress. What's more important is that Minaz not only made breakthroughs in his moves, but also improved his strength, body flexibility, reaction ability, and speed in his daily training. When Minaz consolidates these abilities bit by bit, he will soon be able to break through the shackles of elite elves. Yang Yu thought for a moment and said, the speed of the bullet fist itself is already very fast. It is of course very difficult to improve on this basis. Senior brother Qian, I remember that the giant pincer mantis masters special moves like the whirlwind knife, right? Whirlwind knife, this move needs to be charged up, and as a special attack move, it would be too useless for giant claw mantis to use this move. My giant claw mantis is not like Yang Yu's salty fish king, with a strong special attack. It's almost better than Diao Yang. Wu Yuqian was a little funny. No, I mean, senior brother Qian, do you still remember that move? The little violent one, the whirlwind charge tornado, the salty fish thrust that spins the attack. Yang Yu gestured, the giant pincer mantis can also spin get up and punch, and the whirlwind knife's charging effect looks like this. Hey! Junior brother Han. You are really a genius. Wu Yuqian also knew it at first glance. The speed of the bullet punch cannot be accelerated, but he can also add a driving wind behind it. During training, feel it the breath of wind. This is not difficult for the giant pincer mantis with wings. Although it is not as direct as the cyclone charge tornado, it is still a very meaningful idea and worth trying. Kuthu, come out and pour the tree juice. Wu Yuqian's eyes lit up and he was in a good mood. When it came to training the elf moves, Yang Yu's ideas were really different from those of ordinary people. The big and beautiful dragon tail, the mini dragon's jet of flames, and the dancing to learn the dance of the dragon. Then I can really learn from junior brother Han. The elf ball hanging on Wu Yuqian's chest lit up. Snoozy Huchu appears again. Yang Yu's expression was slightly startled. His thoughts this time were different from the past. It seems that senior brother Qian has never used his Kehu in the elf battle, and more importantly, why is the elf ball on senior brother Qian's chest not his gym-level eagle, but this one? How about a Huchu who seems to like sleeping very much? Can he become stronger while sleeping? Is it really just because the tree juice tastes good? Then why isn't it filled with milk cans? This is Wu Yuqian's secret. If Wu Yuqian doesn't tell him, Yang Yu will not deliberately pry. Just like Yang Yu himself has a secret. Cheers. Mum. Poppy. Okay, I can't finish this cup. Asking for votes every day.